Hey, and welcome back to Sightline Strategies. Today, what we're going to talk about is hit factor and non-shooting problems and how they affect our overall score. So if you are new to competitive shooting or would like to pursue it or don't even understand what hit factor is when you hear people talk about what that kind of is, I've given you 3 examples here. So let's talk about it and we'll get into the main part of the video. All hit factor scoring is points divided by time. That's all that is. So these 3 examples that I have here, let's say that a stage or specifically a classifier is 120 total points. You shoot it in 12 seconds. You divide 120 by 12. That gives you your hit factor, obviously being 10. Okay. Now, let's say I've been doing my homework, been doing dry fire, and I come back and it just so happens that I get to shoot the same classifier again. It's still 120 points. However, this time I shoot it in 8 seconds. So I max out the points, shoot it perfectly in 8 seconds. Divide 120 by 8 and I get a hit factor of 15. Now we're talking. Now I'm moving up in the rankings. I've increased my percentage on my classifier score. I'm a happy camper. I've been doing some work, okay? Now, let's just say for whatever reason, maybe you're grandbagging or you keep trying to shoot the same thing over and over again. You shoot it and you get 100 points. However, you're still able to shoot it in 8 seconds. Not a perfect score, but pretty good time, maybe. Still gives you a hit factor of 12.5. The reason I gave you this example is if you compare it to this perfect score, yet 4 seconds slower, you're still getting a 12.5 over a 10. You still were more than likely able to move up at least in the rankings at your local match, possibly increase your percentage overall with your classification score. It's just something to think about. I think that hit factor scoring is still very relevant. It's still very just something that you can able to track regardless if you're a competitive shooter, even if you're a defensive shooter and you just track your hit factor along a lot of different scores, a lot of different metrics at the range. If you go and practice with the plan, I think that you can track it that way and see your hit factor as you improve start to go up and up and up. It still matters, and I still think it's a great tool. That being said, I want to show you guys a real classifier that I shot recently. It is Hijinks. It is 1901. It is a max total of 60 points. Let's watch the video. It's just a quick video. Enjoy, and we'll talk about it.
Finish, unload, show clear. If clear, hammered out, holster.
Welcome back. All right, so now that you saw that classifier, then again, that was classifier 19-01 Hijinks for a total of 60 points. This is my known time. You can check it in practice score if you don't believe me. I shot it in 8.26 with a score of 50 points. That gave me a hit factor of 6.05. Now, just to show you how quickly those mistakes add up, that's why I wanted to do those videos. That atrocious draw, right? Now, looking at my timer, it was roughly about 2.25 or so, maybe 2.5. I just rounded down to 2 seconds just to be sure. Again, this is just for example's sake, so don't crush me in the comments or on social media, please. But we got an 8.26, so I took off half a second there because I know that on a partial A zone at 10 yards, I'm going to be a second and a half or below, usually about a 130 or so. So we'll just say 150 to keep the numbers even. And because of the way I looked at my timer or video timer, it was right at the 2 second mark between the buzzer and me actually getting that gun out of the holster. So let's just take off half a second, okay? Where I should be. All right, so I took 3 extra shots on that classifier, had what's called Comstock scoring. So if you needed to, you could actually make up shots if you needed to. I did not do a good job of making up shots, so to speak. Several of those shots, even looking at the score, I didn't need to. Maybe only one of them. Maybe, actually I know I did because I shot a delta on that classifier. I know I did, so I apologize about that. I know I needed to make up one makeup shot, but it didn't help me because I still had a delta, right? So I made 3 makeup shots. I'm usually, even in a match performance, I'm usually about a 20 split, okay? My splits aren't amazing, but we'll take 3 extra shots at a 20 split, gives me 0.60 seconds, okay? For a total makeup time or new time minus 1.10 seconds. Now, Let's just say 8.26 with those mistakes minus the 1.10 if I did not make those mistakes gives me a new time of 7.16. It's just math, guys. Yeah, that math teacher, yeah, just simple math though, not calculus, or I wouldn't be able to do this game. So not even touching the points, okay? We're not even going to worry about it. We're going to keep those 50 points with a new time of 7.16 with a new hit factor of 6.98. Now, those are the two main things besides your boy running like a chunky boy. I got to work on that. From 6.98 and 6.05. That right there could very, very, very easily be the difference between A class and master, which is what I'm after in production, or the difference in master, grandmaster, you name it. If you're trying to move up, it all matters. So, dry fire is the key. What I would suggest is if you shoot USPSA, if the only stage that you actually video yourself should be the classifier. Get a buddy, get a stranger, take a tripod, whatever. Videoing is not just for the grams, folks. I promise you that. The reason that I suggest the classifiers are they're standardized. If you really blew one or you realize some mistakes that you made that you can really work on and it's a weak point or you just want to work on that classifier, they're online. They're everywhere. They're on the app. They're on the website. You can find them online and just set them up and run them until your heart's content. And you know that you are shooting, if you set them up correctly, you are shooting a standardized course of fire. You're not having to run anything out of memory or anything like that or have to make adjustments. It's just something that I think that is very beneficial besides just the standard stand and deliver stuff, because a lot of classifiers, they do offer a lot of transitions to partials, and even a little bit of movement depending on the classifier. So if you're gonna video yourself at a match, at the very least, get that classifier. And don't be scared to post it. It's on my Instagram. Post it. Be a man or a woman. I don't care. Man up. Post it. Mistakes and all. Fleas and everything, okay? Who cares? That being said, guys, that's what I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching Sightline Strategies. Please like, subscribe. Now that I've been doing this YouTube thing for a little bit, it really does help. It really helps that algorithm go up. I'd really appreciate it if you help me grow. That way I can keep putting out helpful information, and I hope it helps. As always, guys, I'll see you next time. Sightline Strategies. Hold your line.